Coming up on Full Sail Live, something happened in Queens for only the 17th time in MLB history. Then, did the Falcons make the right decision at number 8? We're joined by a Falcons insider to break down the pick. Finally, we take a deep dive into a new sports technology that could leave you scratching your head. All that and more next on Full Sail Live. Welcome into Full Sail Live. I am Dylan Kerns, standing live outside Citi Field. Mets fans are still buzzing after witnessing history earlier tonight. The Mets used 5 pitchers to throw a combined no-hitter. The night started with Tyler McGill, who came into the start leading the National League in wins. He lasted 5 innings and was pulled after just 88 pitches. The Mets then turned to right-hander Drew Smith, who worked 1 1/3 innings. Joely Rodriguez was next in line, and he did his job to preserve the no-hitter, working a scoreless inning. Seth Lugo recorded 2 outs in the 8th before Edwin Diaz took the mound in the 9th.
He struck him out! 5 Met pitchers combined for the second no-hitter in New York Mets history. Edwin Diaz puts on the finishing touches, striking out the side of the 9th inning as the Mets no-hit the Philly. The 17th combined no-hitter in Major League history.
The historic feat saw the most pitches thrown of any no-hitter. The team issued 6 walks in the game, which could have contributed to the high pitch count. It is the first combined no-hitter by a team since the Milwaukee Brewers in September of last season. The last Met to throw a no-hitter was Johan Santana. It sounded like this.
Santana into the windup. The payoff pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. He's done it. Johan Santana has pitched a no-hitter in the 8,020th game in the history of the New York Mets. They finally have a no-hitter, and who better to do it than Johan Santana?
Mets fans remember that special day back in 2012. Both of the Mets no-hitters occurred here at home at Citi Field. Santana defeated the reigning World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals in his start. The high walk totals and pitch counts did not falter Santana or the 5 Mets tonight from accomplishing history. Still to come, what kind of impact will Drake London have in Atlanta? Then, what do drones have to do with sports technology? Full Sail Live rolls on after the break. Welcome back into Full Sail Live. The NFL Draft happened earlier this week, and the Atlanta Falcons had the 8th overall pick. Some believe that the Falcons had the most needs to fill on their roster. We're joined now in studio by Atlanta Falcons insider A.J. Johnson. A.J., the Falcons had a need at wide receiver with the 1-year suspension to Calvin Ridley. They selected Drake London out of USC. How does he fit in Atlanta?
Well, Dylan, you're absolutely correct. Not only with the suspension of Calvin Ridley, but they were looking at Olamide Zaccheaus being their number 1 receiver. That's a guy who's only caught 54 catches in his entire career. They desperately needed a playmaker at number 1 for that receiver slot, and Drake London is the type of player that can fit right in across from Kyle Pitts, another big body, high point type of receiver. This gives them the playmaker on the edge to start getting that offense going in the right direction.
Atlanta has had a solid track record of drafting wide receivers in the first round. What makes Drake London the next great one?
Well, Drake London is just a physical athlete. He has a basketball background that allows him to go up and high point the football on all those red zone threats that he has. He's a 50-50 type of guy. It's more like a 70-30. All you have to do is throw up and let him do his best to go and get it, and he more than likely will. We're talking about a guy who only played 8 games last year before injury and still amassed 85-plus receptions and over 1,000 receiving yards. This is the type of guy that you can put on the field and will make an impact from day one.
Later in the draft, they selected quarterback Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati. What was your reaction to that pick?
Dylan, I love this pick. Desmond Ridder is a guy that I saw play Georgia in a bowl game 2 years ago, and I said that guy would be a perfect fit for the Atlanta Falcons. It may not have been their dream scenario, knowing the quarterback talent pool that may be there in next season's draft, but to have a rebuild like this for the Atlanta Falcons team and get an experienced quarterback in Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati to come be at the helm, that's going to allow this team to be headed in the right direction with an earlier squad.
They also brought in Marcus Mariota in the offseason, so that begs the question, when will we see Desmond Ridder on the field?
That's the other thing I like about this move. This is that type of pick that is going to be, you're going to see a QB competition in training camp. Desmond Ritter's no slouch. He's prone to winning, 44 career wins. He's got a 26-0 streak before that national or that semifinals game in last year's college football playoffs. He's proven, he's got athleticism, he's got talent. This is a guy he could be starting day one if he really puts it to the test with Mariota in training camp.
AJ, I appreciate you joining the show today, and good luck going forward, and keep up covering those Falcons.
Thanks, Dylan.
Coming up after the break, a few TV networks and sports leagues are implementing drones into their telecasts. Find out who next on Full Sail Live. Drones. Yes, the innovative remote control camera toy used for fun and entertainment. They have had many different purposes over the years. In 2015, they began to be an integral part of live sports broadcasts. ESPN was the pioneer who debuted the use of drones during the X Games. Fox gave it a chance during the AMA Supercross Series as well. However, the big break for drones came during the 2015 U.S. Open, when they helped portray overhead looks of each hole on the golf course. Golf has become the leading sport in terms of drone usage. They do a great job of not interfering with the fans or airplanes which fly much higher. Some can reach up to 55 miles per hour. Some believe that golf is a sport where the scenery needs to be captured as much as the sport itself. High-flying drones can make viewers at home feel as if they are at that location. NBC wants to make sure viewers get the entire experience, even if that means getting a little wet.
We had to make sure that the ending was a ball going into the water, that perspective. So if we were diving straight down, essentially we had to go fishing for this, and luckily it was still recording. The footage is good to go, and that was, I think we can all agree, that was our best take for sure.
It doesn't stop at golf. Earlier this month, there was the debut of the United States Football League. Fox decided to use drones to follow the football on kickoffs and extra points. Their purpose was similar to NBC, try to bring fans closer to the game. Sports broadcasting is such a competitive field that it can be risky at times to try something new. Fox felt that it was a good idea to try the drone camera during the USFL instead of during the NFL season. Reviews have been mixed so far on how fans feel about the drone following a football. Next time you watch TV, keep a close eye on the drone. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Full Sail Live. Be sure to catch next week's episode as we preview the NHL playoffs. Until next time, I've been your host, Dylan Kerns.